This clip has been made on one of the official World of Tanks streams. And you can see what is happening in the background. You can see that, right? It's black market time. And you know what that means? We are going to have a prediction of what can come in the black market. And with that, welcome to the video and let's just dive right in. Straight over to probably the best source when it comes to information on World of Tanks at the moment, InfoCord. And as you can see, they also lapped up the teaser for the black market as well. And there have been some very interesting things. WaterExpress tends to be also a fairly reliable source, but also sometimes a little bit trolly. And that is what Le Classique here is showcasing. And as I said, sometimes they're posting random pictures for their patch note information. But sometimes they also try to put in a hidden meaning. And as you can see, these are tire tracks. These tire tracks could mean several things. Maybe because the black market usually is a way of getting a gold or a lots of resources out of the game. This could mean that we might be able to get one of the sought after premiums again, aka the EBR-75 FL10. I highly doubt it, because that thing is, how should we say, it is an incredible toxic vehicle which a lot of players do not like to fight. And there's a reason why, for example, the Lynx has minuscule third mark requirements compared to the EBR-75 FL10, because the EBR-75 FL10 is just like mopping the floor with that vehicle. However, there have been other information about a potential wheeled tank destroyer coming to the game. And if we now put over here, it could be the Ashigura. However, I have to say, like last year, we had a similar issue where the DBV was also one of the potential vehicles which could have come to the black market auction. But it was just an assembly shop vehicle, sadly enough a very potent one, which I still think, my goodness, forgive me, why? And I have to say, I do believe that this might be a very good candidate. Think about it, we had the Vickers before, which is a very peculiar tank with shitload of DPM, not that high of alpha, and this okayish mobility. The Ashigura, this one is a tank destroyer, and I kid you not, if we go over here, I decided to compare it with the Stridswagen 103B. It has a cooldown mechanic on its gun, so it's the same like the Type 71 or the new SDK2, well, more like the Type 71. But as you can see, without any equipment, like if we go here, no equipment at all, in siege mode, not only does it have on the first shot better accuracy than the Stridswagen, it has 100 DPM higher. I don't want to say that it has the highest DPM on tier 10. I do believe this crown should have gone to the Badger, but from the TDs, it looks like the Ashigura is the highest DPMing vehicle in the game. Yes, the new Ares tanks, they are a little bit different, but that is freaking wild. 3600 DPM basically. Jesus Christ, what is this? What is interesting though is it doesn't really have any good dispersion factors nor accuracy on the move. It is a 105mm gun, and it does have AP and APCR, with the APCR having not that good pen, but the AP 277 is actually really good, and you have the benefit of better what's it called, normalization, as well as pretty decent HE. So mobility wise, 40 kph, 20 kph in reverse, a little bit peculiar, because if I just think about it, another tank which has similar mobility issues, or used to have similar mobility issues, is the medium tank called the Concept 5, number 5. And you can see the Concept 5 now is quite a lot faster, like 65 kph, and it has a similar power to weight ratio, meaning that it is zooming. And even that one has the problem of being not very fast in turning, where I have to say I always prefer the Leopard 1 more. However, the Concept 5 does have 460 alpha now, which makes it very comfy to play. But yeah, this is the Ashigura. Potentially, again, we don't know, potentially an assembly shop vehicle. But that's not yet everything. There are a few more vehicles which have been made release ready. The Yongbing, which is a tier 9 Chinese heavy tank with double barrel guns, and as you can see, rockete! Pew pew! That thing looks a little bit odd, I have to be honest. Not a lot of standard pen, but it has heat with 300mm. It looks like Wargaming recently really enjoys using 300mm of heat pen. It has 10 rockets, Jesus Christ. They are very, very short actually, and they have 8-second cooldowns. That's interesting. Obviously, it has 880 burst potential, and it needs, if I'm not mistaken, 3 seconds to charge it. That's a fairly long time, and doesn't look like there's any lock mechanic like with the SFAC. So you get better accuracy while charging up. So, because it's a heavy tank, we probably have to look at the armor, and oh boy, that is, yeah. Yes, it has Cooper, so there's a plus point. I recently played a Peacekeeper, and I have to say, boy, the tank is fine as a premium, but wowee, these cupolas are incredibly frustrating to play with, because you have on both sides huge cupolas, but this one, yeah, has it as well. It has 8 degrees of gun depression, which is, let me get it roughly right. That's pretty decent. And against premium rounds, you can see that yes, these cupolas, they still stay a weak spot. They're they're fairly forward on the tank, so you can always hit them, even though you are in hull down. You probably can hide them with your guns, but you also have the driver's hatch, which is a weak spot. And if you are, that's actually interesting. Look at that. If you're straight, that's a really good armor profile for heat. Not too bad. And the good thing is, if I'm not mistaken, oh yeah, look at that. There are some tanks which for some reason have a tiny spot here modeled, which makes it super, super annoying to side scrape. This one doesn't have that issue. It's just 60mm thick, so you can't really side scrape reliably, and you have 20mm down here. So keep that in mind. But that's the Yongbing. Fairly interesting, probably dangerous because of the double-barreled and the pretty interesting looking rocket boosters here. Then we have Discord loading because I had to look up the next tank, which is the Kanonenjagdpanzer 2, which is also now ready for release. And it looks so incredible derpy. Like, what is this? Like, generally. But as you can see, the tags were removed from secret and test tanks and gave it a gold value, which basically means, it's ready to release. So this tank, I would say you can probably compare it to an S1 because it has also siege mechanic, as you can see here. I'm not sure what time it needs to switch, or if it's just automatically. I do assume you have to switch because, as you can see, the dispersion modes become very, very big and you have much worse mobility. Although 12 kph is not too bad. I just can't find the switch time. I'm a little bit under the weather, so I'm blaming this one for now and not a lack of preparation. It has 370 damage, which is a fairly unique stat, in my opinion, if you compare it to something like the S1, because it's 390 usually. But it gives it quite a lot of more DPM, Jesus Christ. And it's a little bit faster. Do we need to talk about the armor? It's 40mm, meaning like 122s can overmatch it, and even 25mm can overmatch it. And even he himself, the S1 can overmatch it because it's a 105mm gun. Yes, these 40mm plates can't be overmatched, but you can see that these are far between anything that this is going to be overmatchable. Cool is it has AP and APCR as premium rounds, so that's always nifty. You can adapt to what you need to shoot at because AP obviously always have better accuracies. And yeah, the mobility in siege mode, let me quickly change it on the S1 as well. It's pretty good. Look at that, 12 kph. That's 4 kph more than the S1. And if I'm not mistaken, I have one more prepared. I guess I'm just flashbamming you guys, so I hope nobody is watching it during night tank. It's the SPHT. And this one, I remember when we saw it in the super test files, was like, how is that a heavy tank? Like, where is the armor? And it has a huge cupola. So it is made ready, and there's one more thing which we cannot see when we go to tanks.gg. So apparently they gave it better accuracy, they gave it better DPM, but the main thing is, look at that, HE shells from 60mm to 165. Brother, what? Oh yeah, and also an increase of the damage of the HE from 515 to 550. Huh? Brother in Christ, what the hell? What the Sigma? What is this? Also, mobility got buffed quite a bit. So here we have it. As you can see, this is the pre-buffed state of the gun. It still has the 60mm of HE pen and the 515 alpha. But my assumption when we first saw it with the visual model was that these were armor plates, like on the M47. But they are not. They are just normal armor plates. And you can see that even against its own APCR, the armor is basically non-existent. And as soon as we start using heat rounds, Jesus Christ, that's not a Jason Bourne. Like, yikes. So you are basically forced to always use the 8 degrees of gun penetration you have. And if anybody shoots even a smidget of the premium shells, you are basically done for. So the question arises, what is going to happen with that HE? Holy shit. 165mm of pen. That's not on the level of the Conway's premium HE, but if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the best non-premium HESH shell in the game pen-wise. Maybe RD has a bit more. Let me know in the comment section below, maybe you know, but that is wild. That is actually wild. So yeah, if I'm not mistaken, these are all the vehicles, exactly, and these are the buffs for the SPHT. These are all the vehicles which we right now have potential knowledge of, that they could come to the black market mode. Look, the thing is, these vehicles could also very well not be part of the black market. If I recall correctly, last year the black market did have the SFAC, which was a very sought after tank, and it was very, very strong. And there are not really any more old vehicles which are in the game which Wargaming could sell again, because like the 268 version 5 is now in the Bond store, same goes for the Forge 155 if I'm not mistaken, the 183 for example, and so on. So Wargaming has to think about new things, maybe even, excuse me, the Waffentrigger of E100. Although I feel like the Phoenix was too lucrative to Wargaming to just do it like that. I have to be completely honest. So we'll see what happens. These vehicles might very well be part of some Chinese New Year's loot boxes as well. These also exist, as you probably remember from last year. So we'll see. We generally will see. These are just predictions. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. And with that, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. My name is RagingRaptor. I'll see you around.